Hi, I'm Sunday. Butterflies are known to use their long proboscis to eat nectar from flowers, but certain species can also eat rotting fruit, poop, and even decaying flesh. What if there was one that fed on live flesh? And what if it was big enough to feed on humans, because that would be cooler? Well, there's some roadblocks before we get there. To put it simply, when this image is very much not that, arthropods aren't built for large sizes. Their circulatory and respiratory systems specifically are just not efficient enough to sustain a large body, not to mention the energy it's losing from molting its huge and heavy exoskeleton. Would it even be able to hold itself up? Well, we can solve those problems relatively simply. On an Earth-like planet called Origin, where many animals look suspiciously similar to animals on Earth, arthropods developed a heart and lungs to nourish their bodies more efficiently. Their exoskeletons also developed into an endoskeleton, but most arthropods kept some armor plates on the outside. This way the plates can grow without molting, and they can also shift around to allow for breathing and other things. Now that we're done for the boring stuff, let's look at our first species. 70 million years ago, the unicorn scalebug lived in an ancient forest. It had large scaly wings for acrobatics, but these wings were also likely for show. They glistened with beautiful colors that no one will ever truly see. Its namesake, however, was the piercing blade it held on its head. It's actually a modified jaw from the proboscis of its ancestors. It used this blade to attack prey and then consume its innards like a vacuum cleaner. They're called unicorns because that's how the remains were originally reconstructed. Here's the final art. No one can tell for sure what colors or patterns a unicorn scalebug displayed on its wings, but scientists can tell for sure there was some black and blue. The rest is speculation. This animal glided from tree to tree, diving down on small prey. Its lifestyle was very similar to a falcon, but with 2 extra pairs of legs to grasp prey. They attack prey with their sharp beak-like proboscis, and then take them away with their legs. They only weigh about half a kilogram, but can fly with up to 10 kilograms in their legs. As forests fade, this animal found itself living in an open savanna. 20 million years ago, the unicorn scalebug was long gone, and its descendants were very different. The Cobrawinged Boarfly was a medium-sized carnivore that hunted many animals in its region. It didn't fly, but it used its wings as a way to ward off threats. It walked with its back 2 pairs of legs and used its front pair to grasp. Its main weapon was its sharp proboscis. Here's the final art. One drawing is of the Cobrawinged Boarfly at rest, and the other is when it's feeling threatened. Its wings spread out and show patterns that might frighten the average animal. These boarflies weigh 20 kilograms and can pierce through nearly any armor. Unfortunately, any attacks from the sides leave the boarfly incredibly vulnerable. The patterns on its body help deter this, but they don't often work on mammalian threats. Eventually, it was driven out of its home and into a dark cave. This is where the only extant species of carnivorous butterfly was born. Deep in the largest cave system in Origin, known as the Malum Caves, there's light. Not the light of the sun, far from it, but the light of strange crystals beaming with energy. This light feeds many forms of life in the area and keeps a strong ecosystem in the caves. These crystals are also incredibly valuable to magic users, but they're guarded by a powerful force. The carbon birdwings of the Malum Caves are built to absorb magic and use it to its fullest potential. Although they aren't technically dragons, they have similar properties of exceptional physical strength and magical power. But there's more to them than that. A common sight anywhere in the Malum Caves is a harmless critter called the common uvisneck. They like jelly but are allergic to peanut butter. They're not related to carbon birdwings, but they do look similar to another critter that's a bit more of a rare sight. The malum worm is the larval form of the carbon tyrants of the underworld. They are harmless and quite defenseless, but no one dares disturb them in fear of angering their mother. When they've eaten enough fungus and plant matter, as they travel deeper down the cave, they eat a multitude of crystals and pupate. The chrysalis is made of a material similar to carbon fiber. Its spikes ward off anything foolish enough to attack, though it's pretty much impossible to do any damage to it. They weigh upwards of 70 kilograms and are known to stay in this form for decades. When they're finally ready to emerge, a bright light surrounds them. The carbon birdwing is an extremely aggressive animal with human-like intelligence. It's difficult to learn anything about their culture or learn much at all when they're so good at neutralizing foreign objects or people. so that's not what this video is focused on. Their exoskeleton is made of a similar carbon fiber-ish material as its chrysalis, and is similarly difficult to permeate. Their giant wings fill their surroundings with a dim glow, and they seem to have healing properties if whatever's being healed isn't also getting ripped apart by the rest of this birdwing's body. Its claws are like 18 enchanted swords that slice through the toughest iron with an ease of a feather, while its beak delivers the finishing blow. Its eyes seem to pierce through walls, while its antennae sense every speck of dust that can be sensed. These animals absorb the energy from the magic crystals that surround them, and they have an astounding resistance to magic while having powerful magic themselves. That's about it for this video. My next Spec Evo video will be on sapient arachnids. I promise that'll be my last bug video for a while. I've been doing a lot of those lately. Gotta give everyone else a shot at the spotlight. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you next time.